The question at hand here. We're reaching a point where the top 20% of American males will be making six figures, have chiseled physiques, and still be paired with a 100 body count. um, yeah, this is the sliding standards. Look, we were just talking about this, about the world going mad. A good example of that I mentioned before is the men can get pregnant. That's just silly. But you're hearing that coming from the freaking White House. But another thing that is, in my opinion, just frankly silly and not true. It's not true to the data. It's not true to everybody's common sense. Is healthy at any weight, body acceptance. Absolutely not. I mean, the first statement, healthy at any weight, is just like patently false. There's nothing healthy about being obese. We know it dramatically increases your vulnerability to heart attack and countless other medical ailments. And not to mention, you tie in the psychological aspect. Like, yeah, sure, you're putting yourself in physical harm and all your organs under perpetual stress by being significantly overweight. But these people who are obese and they look in the mirror and they try to make a TikTok video saying, I'm still happy with the way I look. I mean, I don't care that I can pick my waist up and move it back and forth. I'm still happy. These people are not happy. Trust me. They're not. Like, they're lying. It's the self-deception has never been as loud as it is right now. And it's dangerous when it's just an individual who is a little deluded, maybe doesn't have the best role models, so they don't actually know what healthy looks like. But right now, we have people who know better. We have scientists. We have influential politicians. We have other forms of influencers. You have, what is that, Lizzo, the fat whale rapper lady? You have her up there talking about healthy at any weight. It doesn't matter if you're 100 pounds over what you should be, so long as you're happy. What about the people in your life? Your kids, your parents, your grandparents, your grandkids? What about your dog? Like, when you don't sleep through the night because you had a heart attack in your sleep and died due to the decisions, the cumulative decisions that you made over 10 years of bad eating and sedentary lifestyle, all those people and your dog get left behind because you couldn't stop eating Doritos. Because you wanted to sit there and say it's my genetics. It's not the fact that I literally exercise 0.0 minutes of every week, of every month, every year, and have for multiple years. It's not the fact that you have literally never measured your calories, that you don't even know how to count them, that you have no idea how much protein you need. You just eat food aimlessly based on taste. So the question is, could better public policy prevent this future, or would the culture have to change from the bottom up? Let's think about that. Take a swig of my post-workout beverage here. Well, actually, the answer to this is obvious if you just look in the past. In the past, when public policy dictated a certain amount of exercise through having physical education in every school, non-negotiable, as part of the required budget. Before choir, before band, before poetry class, before fucking gender studies, we required, built into the curriculum of elementary, middle, and high schools, your ass has to exercise an hour a day. And is it any miracle or any coincidence that you look at the rates of obesity in the 1990s and the 1980s, even just the 2000 to 2010, we've seen a dramatic a dramatic increase. I think it's 3 times as much. The obesity is 3 times as much as it was in 2010. And in 2010, it was significantly higher than it was in the 90s and 80s. So the correlation of public policy around physical education and exercise and healthy BMIs, that's already established. We know that works. So right now, until those policies arrive, unfortunately, the change has to be bottom up because the policies are not going to come from the top. I mean, when I went on my long conspiracy rant about the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization, they are actively harming people's health through the food industry, through the FDA that currently approves drugs currently approves the quality of food that no other country would approve. Like Europe makes fun of us all the time for the food that the FDA allows us to eat, to be in the ingredients of the food that you buy at the grocery store. The seed oils and all this. The corruption of the initial food pyramid. I mean, this is another rant that I can go on for 5 or 10 minutes about when the food pyramid was created. That was nothing but collusion between the government, the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, and what they called Big Corn back then, which is the name for the Fortune 50 or maybe Fortune 100 companies responsible for all of the grain in America. They worked together and said, hey, government, I bet we can make a lot of money if we told every American that they have to eat, how many servings was it? Like 8 to 12 servings or some ridiculous amount of carbs per day. The bottom tier of the food pyramid is just eat shitloads of bread and rice and carbs. And then at the very top, it's like, oh, have a little protein too, by the way. Just like if you can fit it in, just have a little bit of protein. So, I mean, yeah, before the food pyramid the fake for-profit food pyramid got instituted, and before we gave up on physical education in school, people were much healthier. I mean, take a look at a picture of a beach from California in 1970, and every single person, you can see the definition in their stomach. I'm not going to say they have a six-pack, but you can make out the outline of their ribs. You can see their belly button's nice and flat. They don't have cankles. And nowadays, don't even try that. I mean, it's a sad sight. But this post was insinuating that it's especially a female problem. No, it's a male problem too. I mean, males have historically low testosterone. Testosterone helps you burn fat, keep yourself lean. But not to always go back to the government trying to kill you, but all the soy that is in everybody's diet now suppresses testosterone levels and makes men more effeminate. So you got to get the soy out of your diet if you're a man. Pronto. That's why they promote this veganism, vegetarianism so hard. They know that it's not a diet that helps people be strong and muscular and physically capable of handling altercations. If they roll up on you in your house after they take away your gun, so all you have is just your physical presence to keep yourself safe, they want you to be either skinny fat with no muscle or emaciated because you're vegan and too scared to eat meat that has animal fat on it and tons of protein. Anywho, that's enough ranting about conspiracies and random 4chan questions. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll be happy to do another one with you soon. Take care of yourself. Get the soy out of your diet. Okay? You don't need the fat burners. Just track your calories. Use MyFitnessPal if you've never used it before. That'll tell you how many calories you're eating. And you'll be good to go. Keep tuning in because you're going to need the continued advice. There's a lot to cover. There's too much to cover in one night. There's too much to cover in 7 nights. But keep tuning in and we'll get all this sorted out. And we'll also save the world. We expose all these people, these criminal, corrupt politicians and globalists that are running things. We're going to get the right people in office. They're going to fix this. We're going to do so democratically. We're going to do so peacefully. We can do it.